Hello guys and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me Vulcan. Today I have for you game 2 in a best of 3 between Gonzo and Walther, and this is round 2 lower bracket of Chickendew's European tournament. So in the first game we saw Walther lose out to Gonzo. Gonzo definitely doing a lot of work with his first Panzerner. Now in this one he's going to be taking out the 7th Armoured against Walther's 9th Panzer, which he is playing again. So Walther, thinking that he has the grip on this 9th Panzer division, and maybe was just unlucky the first time, wants to try and prove his worth in this second game. However, if Gonzo wins, he will be moving on to face the loser of Eugen versus Amber T, which either way will lead to a very difficult opponent. Both of those players will be a match for Gonzo for sure. If Walther wins this, then he's going to have to win another, and then he will go on to face those opponents, or one of those opponents. But let's have a look at this map. This is Hill 112, and it's interesting because the 9th Panzer should work relatively well here. We have Marder 3s, which you can see Walther deploying already, and if he deploys on this second tier, he can basically shoot and cover the entirety of the middle of the map, as well as the tier that it's on. And that's a pretty nice thing for this Marder 3 to be able to do. Gives Walther a lot of pressure throughout the game. However, Gonzo works pretty well at close range. If he brings in the Recon Stuart, that thing is absolutely deadly on the side of the 7th Armoured. And if it gets close enough to these Marder 3s, can probably one-pop them since they are low armor. But the Stuart would need to get into the 1000 meter range. But Gonzo is a good enough player that he can basically use these tree lines to get himself close enough, and I'm sure we'll try and see him do that throughout the game. On the bottom side here from Walther we have some infantry. We've got an AT gun there with command infantry. Accompanying the Marder 3 we've got another Panzergren with the Speedtroop there. Further up, more Panzergrens, even more at the top. Again, command and AT guns. I feel like taking AT guns in general against Gonzo is just a bad idea because Gonzo always seems to find a really good counter to them, and he loves using his recon aircraft that we saw in the last game as well, and those just spot the AT guns really easily and therefore allow him to push through just as easily because he can then counter them very well. So it looks like a 258 was replaced with recon on the bottom side here for Walther, but let's have a look at Gonzo's forces. So on the top, he is going to be bringing in a couple of infantry with the white truck there. That's going to have desert rats. These guys are motorized rifles, I think. Then we have the command infantry. There's also the recon in there in the Stuart Recce, and then we have a staghound joining them. That's a 1-star staghound. Then we have some more infantry for the mid, and we've got 2 sets of desert rats for the bottom side with an autocar M3. So there's no command on the bottom side for Gonzo, so he's going to have to be a little bit worried about that. But off we go. The deployment has ended, but I'm assuming both those white trucks are heading straight down here to the top of the hill, where they can actually combat enemy infantry quite well in at least these trees. Out in the open they might not do so well. M3 autocar is going to be travelling to the first tier, or second tier. That's going to be probably countered by Walther's Marder, although Walther's Marder isn't really heading down there yet. Both of these M5 half-tracks are going to drop off their troops, just hold the front line forwards, and we're going to see a push come through on this top side. So I think what this is going to be reliant on is the recon spotting the AT. If it does, all of these machine guns can pin it down very quickly. These Stuart Recces and the Stuart Remies are like really good at pinning down AT guns because they have the 50 count and the 30 count, and they're both 2-star veterancy. They'll be 3-star once they drop off the command as well, which is absolutely insane. So we'll see the veterancy come into play here from Gonzo. In the mid and the bottom side, it looks like Gonzo's just going to be pretty conservative, which I think is pretty much always his strategy. He always tries to push in one place. That white truck there Oh, that was a mistake by Walther. He accidentally moved his Panzergrenz out of the building, took some damage for pretty much no reason. Now the machine guns are going to open up onto those, they're surrendered. Job done. Now it's quite simply Walther's Pack 38 versus all of these units, and well, the M5 half-track there is going to just be running it down. And it's not even aiming and firing back. That's what it has to do. Pack 38, easily dealt with here by Walther. Or by Gonzo. Walther's going to lose that to the M5 half-track most likely. And even if he doesn't, he's sort of given up this sort of town complex here. And that just allows Gonzo to make even more ground. In the mid, motorized rifle is going to be taking out a half-track that's trying to push quite aggressively. But there is a Cromwell 5 on the way. We see the Marder 3 that's going to be taking shots at the motorized rifles. On the top side, these Stuarts have just quite simply pushed on through. The Panzergrenadier is not going to find the kill with the grenade into the top of these Stuarts. And that's just going to mean that all of these units die very, very quickly indeed. Yeah, he's just surrounded them. Panzergrenadier have nowhere to go. And on top of that, these Panzergren are not in a good position either. They really need to just get into one of those buildings and just stop the bleeding, because it's only 52% territory lead for Gonzo at the moment. Walther has made a lot of pressure in the mid, but he can't afford to let this get any worse. He just needs to be careful with the Panzergrens, allow them to get their Panzerfaust into these half-tracks and stuff, and then just micro it. Just micro it. Yep, surrender that. That's a good job, Walther. Now get back in there and stop the infantry from running you down. This Marder 3 is getting way too close. Staghound actually one-shots the Opel Blitz. That's Panzergren's gone. We do see the Spitfire Mark 9 coming in here and bombing the Marder. I think it possibly got the kill there. Either that or the Cromwell 5 found the kill. And this has left these Panzergrens and Spearthrough very vulnerable. I feel like Walther just got very over-aggressive with his Marder there. He didn't have to have it that close at all. Now he's totally surrounded these Panzergrens as well with the half-track, and that's a +2 for Gonzo. It's amazing how things just ramp up the speed when Gonzo's in the game, and how he just takes advantage so quickly of any lead that he gets. And in this case, he is just running all over Walther. So, motorized rifle is going to reveal the Panzergrens. Desert Rats are running out in the open. Staghound's going to be able to help out, so is the M5 half-track. Desert Rats might go down. It looks like the Pack 38 took out a Stuart as well. Will Walther be able to clean this up? That is the question. Marder 3 must kill the Staghound in order to win that top side. Otherwise, things are really just going to completely fall apart. M5 half-track here does surrender the Panzergrens in the mid. These ones have been completely surrounded, so they're not affecting the front line anymore. Pack 38 will be able to take out the M5 half-track, but it's done the job in surrendering those Panzergrens. These Panzergrenadiers get pinned down and surrendered as well. It's just up to Gonzo to find the kill onto this Marder. Oh, the Staghound's going to get the first shot. Oh, he got the internal fragment. He got an internal fragment. That is it. Walther is done. He is just done. 4 minutes and 51 seconds it takes Gonzo to annihilate Walther. Wow. That was just triggering on so many levels. That Staghound, first shot internal fragment. I guess it had quite good penetration chance, but still. The fact it hit, for starters, and the fact it was an internal fragment. Like, it could have been a kill, but internal fragment and a kill were like the two worst outcomes, and they're exactly what happened. Like, a track destroy would have been fine. And then the Marder might have been able to shoot back, but oh wow. Gonzo, please. Slow down these games a bit. 380 kills to 100 losses. Really just showing the aggression with the combined arms of like the Staghound, the Stuarts, the half-tracks and the infantry. Fantastic job. Really just knew what he wanted to do, and he executed it perfectly. I said as soon as those AT guns go down, Gonzo can just rip through. And yeah, Walther just focusing on those Pack 38s early, I feel like is a big mistake. He had two Marder 3s on his division, so I'm surprised that he didn't just rely on both the Marder 3s, because I feel like they would have been a lot more successful at keeping the Staghound and the Cromwell at range. But in the middle, he got a bit careless, let the Marder 3 get too close, got bombed, got punished for it, and then on the top side, again, Martyr 3 too close, and Staghound gets the kill. So, well, I didn't get the kill, got the internal fragment, but would have been a kill nonetheless. Crazy, crazy stuff. I can't believe that that happened so quickly. In terms of losses, it was just half tracks and stuff that Gonzo was getting over aggressive with, but still, that was exceptional. So, it looks like Gonzo is going to be the one to move on to face either Eugen or Amber T in the lower bracket final. And then whoever wins the lower bracket final will move up to the final in order to possibly have a chance at winning the tournaments. We'll have to wait and see. Look forward to Eugen versus Amber T next time. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.